I was peacefully walking into my house over here, and I'm getting the side eye from Catherine as she's running away. I think there's something going on in there, and I see a little something in here that's called a cobweb. What is going on here? I don't even want to know. Do we even? Okay, at least the whole house isn't filled. I got a diamond that I just picked up from our shop. Let's see if we can get that. Okay, nothing in here is gonna kill us. What is going on here? Seems like you might have got it. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Today I was gonna move out too. We were gonna move out and leave. What is? I can't get any of my stuff. I see you, Catherine. I know what you did. We might as well at least do the sensible thing and pull out some shears and gather up these so we can at least get some cool cobwebs out of this, right? I think that's the way to go. We can think of this as a welcoming gift or a farewell gift if we can get a bunch of cobwebs out of this. But welcome on back to SourceBlock, everybody. As you can see, I've been out of here for a little while now. Cobwebs are growing all over our house. Last episode, we came through here and made a pretty sweet secret base underneath Slipgare's house. I mean, what? No, we didn't do anything last episode. We killed the Wither, we got our beacon set up, and we got all that fancy stuff. We definitely didn't do anything else. That was it. We didn't do any sneaky thing. But anyways, today's episode, as I mentioned, it is a moving day. We are on our way out of here. We are going to be moving off to where we are starting our brand new project. You probably all saw Vintage Beef heading off towards the snowy biome across the deserts and, you know, going through the hottest biomes of the game to eventually find snow. We are actually going to be following him. I want to see if I can get a bunch of the stuff that we have up in here packed up, ready to go, so we can bring as much stuff with us as we possibly can. But we're going to be moving out of here, so let me pack up the house. There's absolutely no way we can do this in one trip, so I think we're going to be starting trip one of quite a few of them to get everything over there. I'll meet you guys on the other side. As we are in episode number 5 of SourceBlock now, I wanted to have a quick check-in with you all here and see what you all want to be seeing moving forward in the series, because I know we've been doing a lot of pranking, we've been doing a lot of just messing around with people around us, but today we're moving out to be building up our own base, independent of what everybody else is doing. I want to start staking our claim to a part of the server and start working on one of those projects that I love doing and that I'm more or less known for. So we're moving out today to be doing that. We're traveling very, very far away. We are following, as I mentioned earlier, to the snowy biome where Vintage Beef is building. I've talked to him about this before. We are both totally cool with sharing that. It's absolutely massive. So we're going to be focusing in that area for the next little while, but I would love to know what you all want to be seeing as part of the series moving forwards and where we should be focusing. Right now I want to focus on getting a lot of our infrastructure set up, start making a cool base. We're not going to completely finish off the base right now, but I have a great idea that you'll be seeing in the episode later today. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you all want to be seeing. Maybe we could come back and revisit that jungle temple right here. This little passageway that we're running through right now is the only way that connects these two giant oceans together with that river. So it might be kind of fun to stake our claim to that area and only allow certain people to get through, or set up a toll or something like that. There's so many different things we can do around this area. There's giant coral reefs, there's giant mesa biomes, there's just so many things around here. This server has a lot of potential. The seed we're using here, I absolutely love it. There's so many different things in the nearby area to where we're going to be building versus where Spawn Town is. We need to start coming up with a few farm designs so we can have some shops and make some more diamonds, because I'm starting to run a little low on those, unfortunately. Don't quite have as much as I want. Mythical Sausage's new shop of selling emerald or mending books for a diamond block is kind of taking the toll on all of my funds there, but we got a lot of that stuff moving forwards. There's so many different things we can do throughout here. I'm super pumped for this one. We're going to have a giant terraforming project, and we're going to have a giant base building project of building up this brand new monastery build that we're going to be going for. It's going to be super fun. I'm so excited for where we're going to be going with this thing. But As episodes are moving now into more of this full-time format, I'm looking for a lot more feedback from you all in between each of the episodes. So with that, be sure to let me know that stuff down in the comments below, but I think it's time that we start actually getting to building on the space. I think this area is very, very promising. It's snow basically as far as you can see. I don't think beef is based around this area. And we're going to be doing a lot of terraforming. I just want something hilly to get ourselves started here. So I think we claim this as our new base location. I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set up another portal, get that linked up in the nether, and then get us all the way back over to spawn from here and set up like a decent pathway and just caravan everything back and forth. And once we're done with that, I'll be back with y'all. I just came through in the nether and we are right in a nether fortress. I don't even think this is one that I've explored before, but I think that's probably the best. Look at all of those skeletons. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think there's a 6th in there. This is gonna be dangerous. Or it could be really good. Everything has been moved over into this heap of chests, and so many of them are full of just all of this junk that we gotta get rid of. We got a lot of riches though. I was able to condense it down into one small chest, but we have so much stuff. We have like 3 shulker, or I wish we had 3 shulker boxes because I would have made this a lot faster. We have like 3 double chests full of cobblestone at this point. All these things are full of like bricks and granite and seeds and all this stuff. This chest here, however, is our important chest. This is a lot of the building materials that we're actually going to be using for our brand new project. I think it's going to contrast very, very nicely with the snowy landscape that we're going to have around here. One thing, I need a lot more of terracotta. We are going to be taking a trip over to that mesa biome that we found. I'm going to gather up a bunch of that stuff and be back with you all, and we can do some building today. The mesa biome over here is actually really sweet looking. We could definitely get another build going on over here. Kind of inspired what we did in that time lapse earlier this week. I don't know. Let me know what y'all are thinking on that, because our base is like right over there. Just keep going that way and you'd hit our base in like a minute or 2 of walking. That was a pretty big mining spree. We were able to get a bunch of terracotta, which is going to be very useful. I got some yellow, some white, some light gray, and some orange over here. And we're mostly going to be using the white and the yellow. And then the regular terracotta is my plan. I also found a mending book in a shipwreck. So we've got a mending book on our fortune pick, which is awesome now. And then on top of that, I got an empty map. So are we getting lucky here? We are. That's going to perfectly line up in the center of our base. That's very cool. Okay. So what I'm thinking for today is I need to get my inventory here together, but beef is like based right over there. And I don't know quite where he's building yet. I actually went to go find his base again and I couldn't find it. So I'm thinking we're going to start closer to this watery entrance over here where we can see the village off in the distance there. But that'd be kind of cool to be able to bring some ships and things in here into the water. We'll lower this terrain down here a bit eventually. So I think we're going to start like building some things up in this area. All right, welcome on back. So we're going to be building up this first area here together. And I would like to actually keep a few of these snow layers because I think they're going to be pretty useful for later on for us. I think next episode we'll get a snow golem farm set up so we can actually get some of this stuff going and get some more building in here because snow is going to be very, very important for what we're going for. However, I do want to incorporate a bit of a magical aspect into this area that we're going to be building because this server is called SourceBlock after all. I want to base this around water, but I also want to use water as like a symbol of life. So we need to find some ways to bring a lot of life into the snowy region. So I was thinking we could do that pretty easily by just incorporating a lot of leaves and bushes and flowers and things throughout here. Basically, so like somehow they have this source of water that even though everything is frozen around them inside of this area, there still is a large amount of life in here, which I think is going to be really, really cool. So what I want to do here is basically get ourselves started with 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be 4 right there. Let's bring that out to 5. And then we can do 1, 2, 3, and 4 right there. Then we can bring this back a few blocks and we're just going to make like a slightly angled building here. I think that long, straight, rectangular buildings are rather boring. So I want to go ahead and just break it up. That's what we're doing right here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then right here, what we can do is that, and then bring it all the way around, and then we get a perfect box. This one we're going to be bringing all the way up to 4 tall. I want to show y'all here what we're going to be doing on the front face. So in order to make this look really cool and broken up, and I know granite is a harsh block to work with. It's not the easiest one to incorporate into these things. So we're going to have our doorway in right here on that right-hand side, and then I'm thinking we'll do a bit of a window right in this area. And now that we have all these things broken up and working out in here so far, we can start incorporating a little bit of this granite, which can do really, really good jobs of just kind of breaking up that consistent texture of the brick without incorporating too much being in the terracotta form and everything like that. The terracotta, I think, is like more of a plaster to smooth everything else out, and our granite in here helps to break us up a lot. To help promote the cold feeling on the outside versus the inside being much warmer, I'm actually coming throughout here and adding in a lot of dirt and coarse dirt into the bottom because we have these really warm tones inside of the walls, and outside is snowy, cold, and bleak. And if we incorporate the gravel into the roadway outside and kind of pile it up a little bit on the interior just by where we have our doorways so it looks like it's kind of leaking in when people are walking in and out, then it would make a bit more sense. But what we can do throughout here is bam, and then dropping that guy on the back there. We'll fill in these windows later. I just don't have glass on me right now, but that helps instantly to make this area feel so warm and inviting compared to what we have here on the outside. Then for what I want to do for the top of this roof bit here is coming in off of each one of the sides here and adding in a stair block, upside down stair block like that, and trace it along the side, sticking out one wide on the ends with just some slabs. And then we can basically just bring this up to a point in the middle, doing that on the back and on the front here as well. For a quick glimpse in here, it feels so much warmer. This is just such a warm environment, which is really what I'm going for. We're going to be building a central fireplace in here and then adding some detail onto the outside, and then I'll fix up the interiors. Campfires are one of the easiest details to add in this game that just instantly sell a build off of being so much better. So what I want to do in here is that's going to be just a temporary block right there. And we're just going to add some trapdoors in here. I want this to feel very basic. I don't want it to feel too much like a very fancy area. This village, after all, is supposed to be pretty, like, not boring, but it's supposed to be pretty plain. There's not going to be a whole lot going on out here. So what I want to do here is like that guy right there would be pretty good. And then we're going to take you out and just fill in another one right in here. Bring just that straight chimney going all the way up there. And then we will put a spruce trapdoor right there. So it looks like you could actually like close this in if you needed to like get the heat out of there or something like that. Helps hide it off a little bit better, especially when it's just, you know, a full block right there. Up to the top here, though, where we have this one, you all know exactly what I want to be doing here, and we're just going to be throwing those guys on right around the corner, and this will allow a lot of that smoke to travel upwards, and again, bringing that sense of heat behind us here, which I think is awesome. This house really, just in that little bit right there, is starting to come together a lot. Now it's time to come back in and add a lot of the details. However, what I was thinking out here is I like doing this as a way of bordering off of what I wanted that on the bar there. I want to border off like the snow, the temperature, if we can get this on the top here. I wanted to have a way of basically having this area feel like they're blocking the snow out from their home. They're really trying to keep everything here pretty warmed up. And then this would be like a shutter that we can use to close off the window after we get some glass in there. And we can use some barrels to add some life and detail throughout this area right here. Maybe we go like this. Do we have another one? We don't have any more wood on us. Accidentally, I used it all to make barrels. But something like that. We can throw a little crafting table in there so we can get some outside storage and everything. And then what I was thinking is just adding in a few acacia leaves. Kind of they're piling up around here. They still have this very cold texture to them due to the biome that we're in. But they really do help sell the idea that this area is some form of life is living throughout here. It might not be too much life, but there is life staying here. Can we just talk about how cozy this looks in the nighttime right now? Oh my gosh, I love this. I'm building in the snow more often. This is awesome. One thing I added into our roadways out here to make it have more of that cold feeling, as well as I've started adding in some andesite slabs. Slabs are being used right here so we can just save a few blocks as we move throughout this area. You could use full blocks, it wouldn't really be too much different, but I am cheap and I want to save as many blocks as I can. So we're using a lot of these guys, and I think it's working out really, really well here. Then we can come back in. If only we had gravel slabs, that would be awesome. But this is going to be pretty cool. I love this. I'm really happy with the environment we're creating through here. Andesite's also being used so that we can have some form of a slab. I did not want to use cobblestone. I really want to avoid cobblestone. I want to avoid cobblestone and stone brick throughout this entire build. That's going to be one of my goals, is to not use that. So that's kind of where we're at for now. I think what I'm going to do now, however, is I want to show you all the grand design that we're going to be going with for the larger structure. It's not just going to be a village throughout this valley. I'm going to build this entire area back here up into a large mountain range of sorts, going way up into the sky into like a monastery. So I want to show y'all what those are going to start looking like. Let's talk on the big scale here. What we're going to be building in this time lapse is just going to be this tower right here in front of me, because I want to show you all the style that I'm going for, that I want to work towards inside of this whole build. What the end goal is going to be here is a large terraformed monastery build behind us. And I think it's going to be very, very cool. I want to use a lot of color. I want to use a lot of terracotta in this. And I want to have that strong base warm color that we have, that we kind of used on the small house design that we worked on earlier with a lot of the brick down there. And we'll be mixing that up soon. But this is going to be very much an Asian inspired build, almost thinking like Tibetan style almost of sorts right in there. With, you'll see as this roof style comes in here, it'll really start to bring that all together. So that's going to be kind of the style that we're going for. I'm really excited with this one. I've never built in this style before, so a lot of it's going to be making it up as we go. And I think it'd be really cool to terraform this entire area out. I want the mountain that we're kind of building up into right there to be coming up a lot higher than where it is right now. It's very short. I want the monastery to be sitting up a lot higher on the mountain, on top of a giant mountain area. So we really, really need to get silk touch at this point so that we can actually get a decent amount of stone. Because right now I'm smelting a bunch of cobblestone to get this stone, which I guess helps us because we're trying to not use any cobblestone at all inside of this build. It gives us a use for it, but it's going to be something that we can work towards. I think it'll be really cool to be able to fill the mountain with a bunch of caves where we can have farms and things like that going throughout it, and it'll give us this great area to pursue what I want to be. This temple monastery that we're going to be building is actually going to be a science lab of sorts that's going to be researching this source block, figuring out where it comes from, what it does, and kind of where we can go with that, to seeing just what we can go to. I want to do something crazy here, something totally out of whack for what I would normally do, and that's kind of where I'm at for now with this. I think this area is looking pretty dang good so far. I'm really happy with how that tower turned out. We're not going to be doing the yellow terracotta on all of them. I just want to add some more color in here to contrast with that red. I think some white terracotta up there could contrast with the snow really well. And speaking of the snow, I came down here and threw in some diorite. Yes, we're finding a use for diorite. Normal diorite as well, of just adding it in here with the snow. And I've been slowly working on the interior of this structure in here. It's still very much work in progress. We got a small little entry kitchen area. The campfire over here is being our fireplace. And we got some more lumber that you could throw on the fire in there as well. I really want to change the texture just to get rid of that stuff right there. That's really making me want to do it, but we'll see on that. This room has not yet been touched, and then we're going to have an upper area up here for storage, most likely. I was thinking sleeping originally, because we have the little window over here, so maybe we'll put like some kids' beds over here. But that would be a really cold part of the house, so we want to probably keep the sleeping area, like bunk beds on this side of it or something like that might be better. Out back here, though, we have a really cool spot here, and I would love to... There's a pillager captain buried over there, by the way. I would love to turn this into a small sheep pen. I think we can get a small sheep pen in here, so I'm going to work on gathering up some sheep. I might bring my ones over from the spawn town through the nether, because Beef set up a whole nether pathway for us, like a nether tunnel to get back to the spawn, so it'd be super easy to get them here. On stupid things I've done in the nether, I think this breaks the top 5. And wait, it gets worse. We have to go way longer than just this. And we have to turn a corner. I will say, though, I am very amazed at how good these sheep have been at keeping up with me. They have not lost their attention at all. And I'm knocking on wood right now. We're almost there, little guys. We're almost there. We just got to get back in here. I promise you'll be safe forever. And also stuck forever, but safe. And safe. Ooh, get back. Ooh, you know where you're going. You know exactly where home is. Yep. You don't need to pay attention. Oh, yes, you do. Now you do. Good boy. Good boy. Come on, sheepies. Back in here, everybody. Just jump on down. It's nice and fine down here. There's no way for them to get out as far as I'm aware, so we're good to go. And there we have it. I think we have a nice cold sheep paradise going on back here. They have a small little area over here to get out of the snow if need. They have some water they can drink from and some hay bales they can eat from. And I think that's pretty good. I planted a few lanterns around here so they can still munch on the grass and it doesn't get covered by snow. Otherwise, sheep aren't really that great at growing their coats back if they can't eat the grass in Minecraft. But unfortunately, I think that is actually going to have to do it for today's episode. We were able to get a bunch of stuff done. All of our junk is moved over to there. We built up this super sweet house. I didn't do the upper floor yet. It's just going to be some storage crates and things like that. Then we have this very cool start to a brand new tower. Let me know what y'all are thinking about this project so far. I would very much appreciate any feedback, any suggestions y'all have, or anything of the sort that we should be adding in here. I really want to somehow get farmland. Somehow we need to have a reason for having farmland in here without just throwing torches and things all over the place. So if you have any ideas on how we can incorporate that stuff in here, be sure to let me know down in the comments below. But that's going to have to do it for today. As I mentioned, please hit that like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I will catch you on the flip side.